Yeah, this is going to be April Blu-ray and DVD update. I've got a fair few DVDs and Blu-rays here, and I'm just going to like zoom through them. First up, I got this Blu-ray from Denmark for around about, well, really cheap. It's like £3 or £3.50. It's Capote and In Cold Blood. Now, I haven't seen Capote, so I might watch it at some point. But I bought it mainly for In Cold Blood. I hear it's a real good film. You know, it's got a good cast in it. Particularly kind of like, you know, Scott Wilson, who's a good actor. What did I pick up? Right, I picked up, which I watched this the other night. I'm kind of into my Italian crime films at the moment, and I got Revolver, Revolver and Harry Testi. The problem is, like, it's so Oliver Reed does well in it. You know, he really kind of, you know, chews it up a bit, but it's so boring. It's really boring. Not very violent either. It makes Death Wish look like wishful thinking. That's the immortal tagline for the American release of it. Blood in the Streets, which it really isn't. It's not that great. It's one of the poorer ones I've seen recently. I bought this as well, which I haven't had a chance to see yet. I'll probably watch this over the next few days. The Big Racket. I hear this is a pretty violent, but it's fast, gritty, and violent. Superior example of the sandwich crime film. Yeah, and I'll be watching that. As I said, I'm kind of into them at the moment. I'll watch a fair few. I picked up Fernando de Leo crime collection. Really nice little set. I got this fairly cheap. It's a really nice release. I got it from Rare Video. I've only watched The Boss at the moment, and that was really good. I mean, it kind of faded off near the end, but the beginning of Henry Silva, oh god, the scene in the cinema is absolutely amazing. Yeah, you know, I'd recommend that. But from what I've seen so far, which is a bit, you know, I will watch the rest of them. Well, never know. Right, I bought the Digibook of Malcolm X, which is an absolutely awesome film if you haven't seen it, and it's a really nice release of it. It really is a great film. It's probably definitely up there with Denzel's kind of like best film. You know, the acting is great. It's probably not my favourite Spike Lee film. It's quite weird. I'm probably going to go against the grain here. My favourite Spike Lee film, Summer of Sam, always has been. I don't know why. It's just I love the soundtrack and the feel of it. It's a really good film. You know, and I'd thoroughly recommend it if you haven't seen it, which I'm sure everyone has really. Picked up a Blu-ray here. This is real back to the kind of good old kind of. It's got a real kind of 80s action feel to it. It's got it's Jean-Claude Van Damme, Kung Lee, and Dragon Eyes. I don't think Van Damme's in this much, but I hear you got Dan Henderson as well in it. Peter Weller turns up as the villain. Hopefully he gets a suitable death. He's always entertaining, Peter Weller. His is real brutal, and I hear it's real good as well, and I'll definitely be watching that. Right, what else did I get? I got two Spanish films actually. First is No Rest for the Wicked, kind of Spanish kind of crime movie. Guy on the front looks a real kind of badass, I have to say. I hear real good things about this. I also picked up from the director of Wreck, Sleep Tight, Louis Tosar. Now I've seen him in a film. I like Louis Tosar a lot, and it's kind of a better made Resident with Hilary Swank. This is it's kind of similar to it, but this is a lot more, a lot more serious tone to it. The acting's a hell of a lot better. I'll definitely be watching that. I hear real good things about it. I picked up from Code Red, but if you look on the front cover, there's nothing to suggest it is from Code Red. It's Joshua with Fred Williamson, which I'm not too interested in, but I bought this mainly for Cutthroats 9. It's a real kind of violent western. You look on the back, you can see there. But it's one of those releases where literally I've scoured I know Code Red aren't doing too well at the moment, but And you know, I definitely feel for like you know, the guy who runs it. You know, I mean, he releases. You know, people harp on about releasing films and then no one fucking buys them. You know, he had that with like Rituals a fair bit. You know, and a few other films, but they should really market their. You know, I'm sure this is a code red release. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm sure I'm right. That is code red, but there's nothing to suggest so. Right, I also got. I'm going to leave a DVD out there because I'm about to really run it down in a minute and really bash it. So I thought I'd go on to an absolutely amazing film from one of the best directors out there at the moment. His body of work is so great. Definitely up there, one of my favourites. Werner Herzog, Into the Abyss. It kind of Werner explores like I think a triple homicide case with these two kind of you know, the two lads who I think they did the crime when they were 17 or 18. And you see, this is the problem with them. I'm not going to, you know, I mean, my views aren't relevant, but something like the death penalty, you've at least got to be consistent. If you know, then you decide to execute someone, which is pretty extreme in the least, but one of the guys goes to the death. Is on the death penalty. He's on death row, while the other, thanks to his father, has got basically 30 years in prison, 35 years in prison. Now, you know, that isn't consistent enough, you know, but it's a very, very good program. You know, Werner is obviously against the death penalty, but you know, he's just never lets his views get in the way of the story. You know, the story's so great, and you got to understand. I mean, the two guys in question. I mean, at first you meet them, you realise, God, they're two young guys. You know, what have they done? But the act they committed was fucking cold and calculating for a fucking car. You know, just mad. But you know, there's some really, really great beginning when they're talking to. I assume he's a preacher at the beginning in a graveyard. Fantastic when he's talking about a story of a squirrel. I'm not really making much sense there with it, but you'll know when you first see it. And then the story that really hits you when they're talking to one of the death row guards. He's not a death row guard anymore. God, when he's you know, when he's talking about how in the procedures when they lethal inject someone, you know, it's a fantastic. Werner is one of the best. You know, if you don't like Werner, like, there's not much I can do for you. You know what I mean? You know, if you said, oh, I don't rate Werner Herzog, your opinion means. Well, it just means nothing to me, you know what I mean? Right, sorry to be brutal there. Now, I bought this on, I mean, I heard good things. Apparently it's really funny and really gory. It's a horror film called The Revenant. And it has to be the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen. Oh God, I hated this film. I can't even... It's one of those films, right? Now, where's the time here? It goes on for something like an hour. Yeah, right. Nearly goes on for 153. But no, it goes on for an hour and 53 minutes. Right, there's a French gangster film I'm going to review in a minute, and it goes on for about an hour and 35. And it could almost do with another hour. It's so good. The balls in them to do a film of this length, and how shit it is. I just can't believe it. It's one of these things where one of those films. And who's the writer? Who wrote this pile of shit? I can't see my. I can't. Okay, well, just some prick who wrote it. He really thought his writing was top dollar. He really thought it was really clever and really funny, and it was just wasn't at all. Oh, there's so many bits that are just toe-kernelly crap in it. There was one good scene involving a dildo and a zombie head, and that's it. That's the only good thing. Too much. You see, the thing is, you know, I like swearing in films, but you know when they swear so much, it's basically to kind of get in the way of the shitty writing. It's that, you know, you think, oh, if we swear so much, they won't actually realise how shit our script is. So shit, like terrible CGI blood as well at times. I mean, I really heard kind of good things about it. And the freshest and funniest zombie film in years. Who said that? Someone from Celluloid Screams. I don't know what. Just no. Just no. Ain't it Cool News gave a good review as well? I mean, just why? Why would you? It's so shit. Honest to God, man. It's so shit. Right. Now, to a really good film, Leone, but from director Olivier Marcel. He did 36mm MR73. French crime film. That guy there, I presume it is Gerard Lanvin. I think that's his name. He's an absolute badass in this film. So good. And I always pronounce his name wrong. Is it Checky Caro? He's from Doberman. I know. I'm sure I butchered his name. I do apologise. The Leone, like a famous kind of bunch of armed robbers. And the story's told through like numerous flashbacks. He's kind of a gangster, but he's kind of trying to get out of the life, and Checky's still kind of involved, and they get involved with basically another kind of gang war develops. But it's so the storyline's so good and the acting's so good. This is the FNAC kind of exclusive. It comes with the comes with an extra disc of features. Such a good film. The French really do the crime film now. That it's kind of a mixture of heat and probably a mixture of these other two kind of movies. It's real good. It's real good. I mean, I've heard some, one or two reviews not, saying it's like, I don't know, just not really as favourable reviews. But I loved it. I absolutely loved the film. Real good. Brutal. Very brutal. Very good film. Deserved at least 2 hours. Better than that fucking Revenant film. And top off, I got one last horror film. It's from, what's his name? Ty West did House of the Devil, which is a very good film. The Innkeepers. Now, I really like this film, but I suppose I can see why some people might not like it. I think some explanations could be in order of certain. The story might need a bit more explanation kind of near the end. I don't want to go too much into it. I mean, the basic story is two kind of slacker types who are kind of they're in charge of a hotel while the owner's away, and they believe like there's some sort of ghost inhabiting the hotel. It's got that what is that woman called? She's out of Stakeland. What's her name? Kelly McGillis, is that her name? She's very good in it as well. But I mean, she's an actress come clairvoyant type. It's definitely got some really good kind of scary moments. I think the kind of subplot between a mother and a kid in it, they could have just got rid of her. I didn't see the point of that. But as I said, it could have done with some sort, a little bit more explanation. Maybe one or two more scares, but I thought it was a very well kind of well-paced film. Very enjoyable. I think the reason why I probably enjoyed it even more is because I think I watched The Revenant a few hours before and I hated that so much, and I actually watched like a, an intelligent kind of horror film, and I really enjoyed House of the Devil. Probably, I mean, like House of the Devil, I think the director kind of uses kind of a lot of tedium to kind of like build up, but sometimes it can. Like in House of the Devil a little bit more, kind of the tedium got a little bit boring, but the end it really kind of picked up. But it's a really good film, and it can be interpreted a lot of different ways, the ending. And as I said, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's I found it really enjoyable. Some people haven't, and I suppose I can understand that. I can understand their point of view there. But yeah, it was very good, and I enjoyed the film. So yeah, that is the end of the update. What I'm going to try to do is at some point in the next couple of weeks, if I can get a chance, I'm going to try to go through the last of the horror shows. I've only got about 4 of them, and I mean to do it. I've just been, I haven't had the time. So yeah, cheers for watching, and cheers for subscribing, and your comments are appreciated. So yeah, I'll be back with another update in about a month or so time. So yeah, cheers.